The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
EMissyK Show. EMissyK Show. EMissyK Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, curfews, movie, TV, radio, here we go. Hey, it's EMissyK. Hey, it's EMissyK. Her beauty and passion, talk music, fashion.
Welcome to the EMissyK Loose Lip Show. We're glad you joined us tonight. We have some awesome guests tonight. This handsome gentleman to my left, the one and only Mr. Ronnie Warner. You guys remember him?
Yes. Thank you.
And then to my far right is Miss EMissyK.
Hey.
And then to my immediate right is Miss LaTonya Carmouché.
Very good.
That's good. That's a good one.
Really?
Yeah, I might have messed that up.
We're so glad to have you guys. We have a really good show tonight. We have food that is provided by Chef KT. You guys remember him from, what's it, the last show? He was running his mouth. Tonight he's filling our mouths with food.
I know, right?
And lots of it. He calls us a snack. That is not a snack. But we'll get a chance to test it, see if it's good, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so tonight we're gonna start with Mr. Ronnie Warner. He's it's Lala's not on everyone's lips tonight. Lala Young and Haley B are on a break because Lady D's is taking over tonight. Okay. And Miss EMissyK is being the boss, doing what she loves to do behind the cameras, telling everybody what to do. So tonight we're gonna get what's that? What's on everyone's lips?
What's on everyone's
besides
lips?
Ronnie?
Yeah, but including mine.
Including. So Ronnie's gonna give us the gossip.
A little bit. Something.
So
yeah. So well, you know, I kind of wanted to I think this is a debatable topic to a certain extent. You know, I wanted to get you ladies' perspective on this. In the news lately, we know that Omarosa Manigault Newman has written a book, a tell-all book, right, about the White House and her experience. And now, you know, it's kind of, you know, she's talking about some racist type of things that you know, the administration has been involved with, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm interested to find out is, especially from African-American females who probably a lot of looked at her as a bit of a sellout of sorts, right? Because she was going with the whole Trump situation, right? And now that she's coming out and sort of being on the other team, so to speak, how are you guys feeling about that, and what are your thoughts on it? And I'm not saying you ever thought she was one or sell out anything. I'm just saying what
a lot of people did.
Some people did, you know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on that? How are you perceiving that? And if you, or do you have any thoughts on it?
From a publicist standpoint, I say this it's an opportunity for her to promote her book. Of course. First of all,
yeah.
With Omarosa, you have to be very careful how you treat people, because if the discrimination and all these things was going on, why wait till now to say anything? Why was it okay then?
And all this stuff, right?
So to me, I don't too much pay attention to her.
I got you.
It's a bunch of foolishness to me.
Right.
But it's something to promote her book.
Yeah. And so you don't take much stock in it.
Not so much.
Yeah. I can understand that.
But it's a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Watch how you treat people, because now that she is trying to come back and everyone is saying her black card is revoked and no one wants to be bothered with her, where's she going to go?
Yeah.
What you think, Miss EMissyK?
Oh, well, I'm going to say, you know, God don't like ugly. That's not in the Bible, but that's written. It's true. But, you know, it's a sad thing. I think anytime, you know, you can't do well on reality TV unless you got a lot of mess going. So the fact that she's been doing good for 15 years,
Right.
I tell you, when she came out a long time ago and she said all that stuff about we all gonna have to bow down, ooh, that made me get chilled. That didn't sound right at all. You know right, that's wrong. Something was on the wrong page right there.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it's nice. The receipts are nice to collect, but I tell you, and would you be surprised if we hear them say the N word on tape? I wouldn't. You know, that's like tell me something I don't know.
We expect that.
Right, that's right. But if they got him talking to the Russians, you know, saying, "Okay, Vladdy, I got your back," you know, that would be some news.
Yeah, that'd be some news.
That's what I want to hear.
Right,
but God bless her anyway.
Yeah, God bless her anyway.
I'll say that.
So basically, we're saying that like her card is still revoked, right? Is that what we kind of saying?
She's kind of ruined for a bit.
Yeah, right,
she's going to do a whole lot to come back. To either side, whichever side she chooses.
Right, because she done found herself like dad in the middle, right?
In the middle. No one wants her. We throw her away. Throw her away.
Yeah.
She's an opportunist.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, when being with Trump served her, that's what she did.
Right.
And when being with Trump no longer served her, she switched sides.
Yeah.
And people think black people are stupid. You know, because we have people like the OJs and them, you know, when you're up and about, you could care less about your people.
That's right. But
when you get in trouble, the first place you want to run is to the community.
That's right. Trying to come back home. So now she's playing the so-called, you know, people say race card, right? Because that's supposed to tug at our heartstrings.
Right.
I understand.
Like we're awake now, so it don't.
You ain't lying
not
about that.
No.
Yeah, we woke.
Yeah.
Miss Etta, you woke.
I took my drink up a little.
We woke.
We woke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, that's good. I just thought that would be like a you know,
that's
mildly
good.
interesting topic because you're kind of going into a couple of different places.
Right.
So I'm moving on. This next one is again, we don't have to get too deep on it because it just was so crazy to me. It just sounded so crazy. So I'm you know how you get up and you look on your little Facebooks and all this kind of stuff. And so all of a sudden I see a post in the news sort of section about Mike Pence talking about they're about to start a new branch of the military called Space Force.
What?
No, and they dead ass serious. This isn't like the new film coming out. Like it's like,
what it sounds
no,
like.
right. No, it's called when I'm telling you they serious, they're talking about putting $8 billion up to going through the Pentagon and you know everything they have to go through to start a new branch, the 6th branch of the military called Space Force. So they talking about intergalactical warfare.
But you know what? It's not that far fetched. As a matter of fact, I just spit these words out just this week to somebody. With everything that we have going on up there that runs everything we have down here.
Yeah.
If somebody was to take us out up there, we would be in a mess because everything we have depends on what's up there. Those satellites and all that stuff, which is probably why now they're trying to find a way to protect it and to defend it. Yeah. Because
you're actually right.
That would be some serious stuff.
Because we don't realize how much we probably depend on some of the stuff. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
Right.
So I totally get it. Yeah. That's funny. I just said that.
Yeah. And that's real. I mean, that's what they're saying. I mean, the whole point of it is about the global tracking and the reconnaissance that, you know, all because I think it's like 11 countries have military satellites up there, right? And so and China just shot one of theirs down for like tests. So a missile shot a missile up there and shot one of theirs. So I mean, you're right. It is something going on to that, but at the same time, there is a little ridiculousness to it on a certain level too, because you're talking about, you know, missiles in space and whatnot, which is a little over the top. I'm talking about in terms of starting an entire new branch.
It's like, come on, Jesus.
Lord, come. That's right. Well, I try to keep up. I got my flip phone and my clapper. That's as high tech as I go. But I would be disappointed if, you know, the Martians came down and got us and we didn't have everything. I think, you know, but I don't know. The way they talk, I think we got better things to spend our money on right now.
Like my student loans.
That's true.
They can go ahead and knock my student loans out.
Write that up. I hear you.
You know, Mr. Editor, they looking for somebody to head up the program, so I didn't know if you wanted to put your name in the hat.
Well, you know, I knew Miss Uhura from Star Trek. She was a friend of mine, and I could fit in that little outfit if they really. You know, when I could put that on and Hey, send me up, beat me up, Scott.
No,
That'd
that's
be
right.
fun on a Saturday night. I go see who's up. I might meet somebody up in space.
You might meet somebody up there, right? I know that's
I'm
right.
telling you, I'm open to all species at this point. So yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah, I
up.
just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, they are looking, so I mean, I think you probably could, you know.
I'm gonna get in my application.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
think
go
so.
down to where's the office. They got like you go ROTC.
Just sign up.
Let's
Listen,
go.
man, I thought you were married.
Oh, honey, I've been single all my life. I've been keep hope alive. So there might be some green spaceman up there looking for a lady just like this. My hat's ready. I get signals through this. Can't you tell? That's it. Yeah, now you got me thinking. I might be on page with Mr. Pence and all them crazy folks. Space Force all the way.
The way to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Would you go? Would you get up in there if they tried to recruit you?
If only if you were the leader.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you no, I'm with you. So if you get down,
If I could get on
just call me on your flip phone.
okay. I get your number. But
And I'm there.
that's it. But you young. I ain't got nothing to lose. If they send me up there and I can't get back, say la vie. But you got life to live. We might get kidnapped up there.
I ain't as young as you.
Yeah, if I get stuck up there, I'll say, oh, well, I'm ready, Lord, to go. But you got some time.
So you're already halfway to
That's
heaven
right.
anyway, right?
Just keep
There
on
you go.
going
There you go.
up there.
Well, we thank you, Ronnie
Yeah,
Warner, for
no,
that
thank you.
interesting
Yes,
conversation.
absolutely. Did we want to? Okay, and the last thing, because I wanted to sort of talk about the sort of lighter things first.
Okay.
As we know, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, is gravely ill. Is you know, some of us know, whatever the case may be. And I kind of wanted to just talk about that a little bit, because you know, a lot of times the people that have been our heroes and heroines throughout life, you know, in music and such, like, you know, we're getting older now, and these people are getting older, and we've lost some folks, you know, some folks untimely, obviously, but you know, as these things move, I mean, you know, what is the, you know, what does that make you feel like as far as, you know, where music is going, you know, what she's meant to the influence of the younger folk? Have we gone into a different direction, and sort of where are we with the evolution of music and what it means to the community? Because she was talking about women empowerment, she was talking about, you know, Black folks and what we're going through, and so we kind of still going through some stuff, right? And so what do you think that means? To have, you know, be thinking about her mortality and things like
I think that whole generation and the music that they brought and the messages that they gave, it's sad to say that most of it is gone. I think the generation that it had the most effect on, they're older now. And but I think the next generation is lost on them. The things that they're talking about, stuff things that influence their generation, but it's nothing positive. It's everything is about sex. That's all they talk about, sex and how to get over on a man, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And you know, I mean, that's it. It's like nothing with substance. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of sad, because music can kind of reach some people that would not otherwise be reached. You know, and it's kind of sad. It really is
like a lifeline,
right.
You know,
right.
To what's going on at the community.
You know, when we talk about the James Browns of the world, you know, Black
absolutely.
and I'm proud,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
and those kind of people, it's like
the Marvin
it made us
Gaye's,
proud. Yes,
absolutely.
What's going on? You know,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's I don't know. I'm scared to think what's going to happen. You know,
What y'all think?
Well, it is sad for her to, if she does go out knowing that music has gone where it is now, and all her hard work and the pathway that she's paid for people is almost for naught. And there's people still trying, but where no one's listening, and they make the music industry so hard.
True.
And we need music like Aretha Franklin's music, especially the respect alone.
Oh, come on, that alone.
That alone.
Yeah.
They really need that.
If some of these young girls will listen to respect,
Omarosa needed.
No,
we threw her away.
They couldn't get her back.
That's real. We do.
Just listen to respect, and even if you're just singing it without just reciting the lyrics over and over,
Yeah.
it'll eventually sink into your brain, and we won't have so many booty models on Instagram.
No, I know that's right.
And
You're
people
right.
going crazy. So
Right.
we definitely need her music, and yeah, it's pretty
It's
sad
kinda
for her to
sad.
go out.
Yeah.
Miss Etta, didn't y'all go to school together? or something?
I was her teacher. She was a little one down there. I told her how to spell it. R-E-S-E.
She could misspell it, didn't she?
That's right. I told her, made her write it down 20 times. She got it down, and the rest is history.
Miss Etta was there. You know what? We need to do a movie like that. What's the one they did with Tom Hanks where he was like the Bubba Shrimp and all that? What's
Oh,
that?
Bubba Gump.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. We need to
Gump.
do one like that. Miss Etta was always there.
Oh, that's the truth.
She was always there when it went down. When Marvin Gaye was saying, "Let's get it on." He was actually talking to Miss Etta.
That's right. He said, let's get it going. I said, no, honey, let's get it on. And the rest is history.
They was on their way to Roscoe's.
Yeah, I had to pull him over.
Had to pull him over.
That's he said, what's going on? And I said, I'll let you know in a minute, Marvin. That's wrong.
Oh,
He was a
Hey,
stubborn kind of fella.
Thank you guys so much
Yeah,
for making me laugh.
That was good.
We're going to go into a break. As you know, one of our guests could not be here tonight, and that was Mr. Tony Grant. But I do believe we have some of his music.
Good.
What? Oh, she said, the boss says later. What if I want it now?
Oh, well.
Okay, we're going to take a break. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. This has been EMissyK Loose Lips radio show. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Sitting on the stoop, drinking up 40, side by side with the cutie. If you're from a city, you'll understand these summer nights just don't end. If you're on the block or in the club, use the summer night to turn the hell up. New York, Miami, Atlanta, LA, let's show them the way how to party. Summer nights, summer nights, summer nights, party all night, sleep all day. Summer nights, summer nights, summer nights, party all night, sleep all day. Time to get ready for a crazy night. Time to get ready. Come on, I'm waiting outside. I wanna dance, I wanna dance. Time to let loose. Makeup, hair, nails all done. Get on my dancing shoes. Driving by the beach on the way to the club. Perfect summer, like what's up? Got my girls, I got my drink. Nothing on my mind today. New York, Miami, Atlanta, LA. Let's show them the way how to party. Summer nights, summer nights, summer nights, party all night, sleep all day. Summer nights, summer nights, summer nights, party all night, sleep all day.
Talking. So
Well, welcome back
Yeah,
with
what is it?
all this commotion
Yes,
that's
yes.
going on. They're trying to hide, but it's a little late. The chef is serving up his delicious meal. So what is this? You got crab cakes and
I got crab cakes,
strawberry arugula?
strawberry arugula with feta and bacon salad with a champagne vinaigrette.
Okay,
all right, champagne vinegar.
Thank you.
You went sexy with it.
Okay. I wish you guys could join us. It looks delicious. So while we do this, we're gonna go to our next segment, which is Kissable Nights.
Yes.
And we're gonna do a little twist tonight.
Okay. Uh-oh. Why you look over here?
But because listen, you know, women and men, but especially women, are always sitting on the sidelines and they look at these entertainers, these prosperous guys, these good-looking guys, this package right? And they're envisioning themselves with these guys,
right.
but and wondering how they could position themselves to get with these kind of guys, right. Although I tell women all the time, you know, it's like it's kind of like when Bill Cosby got in trouble, you know, everybody was losing their mind, you know, and I tell people, listen, you don't know Bill Cosby. You knew Dr. Huxtable.
That's true too.
And
You're
a comedian.
Right.
You didn't, so I don't know what he did or did not do, but I'm just saying, when we're looking at something, you don't know what's going on the other side. You're wanting it, you know, but he may be going home and beating the heck out of his wife.
That's right.
You know, so I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for.
Very careful.
But I want to know from a male perspective, what is it that men like you look for? I know you're married, so don't even get any idea.
I got one answer, right. My wife.
That's right.
That's what I look for in a woman. No.
If you were looking for,
I understand
when you were looking for your wife,
I was single at some point in my life.
Like what attracted you?
Well, I mean, I can talk specifically about my wife.
Okay.
Or I can talk more general. Oh, okay. So you want me a little more specific about my wife? Well, can I just be a little bit in general as well? Because it's all kind of in there.
You try to play safe.
No. because sometimes I think it's individual, right? I mean, I think it's just an individual thing. When you meet someone, that's what happened with my wife. When I met her, it was one of those, I knew it. Like I knew it in the moment. Like I really knew it.
How did you meet her?
I was a stand-up for years, and I was doing a club in Chicago, and she was in the audience.
Oh.
And it's you know, and so I kind of always figured I would probably meet because I didn't do nothing else. You know what I mean? So anyway, she was in the audience, and it was funny because after the show, I saw her in the crowd. So I said, man, I want to position myself so I can say hello when she walks out the room. Like, you know, so and then so everybody's walking by, you know, people say good show, like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, thank you. But when she got there, she said good show. And I was like, thanks. I mean, I tried to put like, I didn't say nothing to her because, you know, she was in the line. So I wasn't going to stop, you know, everything. And so I was like, thank you. And she's like, okay. And she kept going. And so she's walking out the door of the club, and I'm like, I'm about to go after, and then I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, man, she one of them good girls. I'm in town for the weekend. I ain't trying to get caught up in, you know, somebody that live, you know, 1,000 miles from me or whatever it is, right? So I said, so then the spirit just told me go after, right? So I'm going out the door, and she's coming back in the door. Because apparently my buddy had kind of grabbed her girlfriend, was flirting or whatever. And so she was coming back in for her telling me that she was coming back in to see me. Oh. Right. So when I saw her, it's so funny. So I saw her, I said, hey, look, I said, my name's Ronnie Warner. She said, yeah, okay. Because, you know, obviously I was just on stage. I said, all right, I'm 30 years old. I live with my mom and I got a son. Wow. She turned away immediately.
That's why I'm missing out. Doggone, let me pay attention.
No, listen though. So there, I said that because, you know, I'm you know, this particular club in Chicago, they fly you in, they put you up at the nice hotel. I ain't want her to get no mixed. Like this ain't what's happening. I mean, I'm a struggling artist right now, whatever. So I told her that, and then I said, look, this is what I'm thinking. I said, I'm gonna hang out this weekend. We'll, you know, you can show me around. I said, then after I'll go home, and you know, we'll talk on the phone. Within the year, I'll meet your parents, you'll meet mine, and we'll get married next year.
You told all this when you met?
No, in the moment. In the moment.
Okay.
My goodness.
In the moment. I mean, those you can ask. Those are the first words out of my mouth, and so she was like, I see you got it all figured out, blah blah blah, right? So then we talked, and then I went home, you know, in my room that night, and I called her immediately because I don't believe in that 2-day with all that crap. I called her immediately, left a message. She called me back that night. We were on the phone for 6 hours.
Whoa.
Then I hung out for the weekend. I went back to DC. Virginia. I was in Virginia, and then she came to visit me once. I flew her out for a weekend, and then I flew her out again like a month later, or for a week. And then the next time we saw each other, we was moving in together.
Wow.
And that's 22 years ago.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's
now,
awesome.
I'm not saying that's the way.
Right.
And how it goes. That's just how it went in my particular case. You know what I'm saying? But I think my point of it, I guess, is you know, you just seek the truth, man. Like be honest. Don't play games.
Right.
It's just be honest. Well, except about one thing. there's one thing that you do not do. Is a guy is always gonna ask you how many guys you've been with.
Oh yeah.
Lie. Well, if it's over 5, lie.
My response is, how many women have you been with?
But they don't
be asking me if unless
yeah,
you really,
yeah, but it don't work that
Unless you want to come.
way. I understand that. I understand, but what I'm telling you is though, this is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Just don't.
Whatever the number is.
We can't handle it. Men cannot. Our ego is out the roof. Chef, come on. Our ego's out the roof.
I agree with you. Don't ask me how many I've been with. I can ask you.
You're right.
Wow.
Just what I'm saying is don't, because I'm telling you, it can't. If you say I'm a virgin, he gonna be jealous of the guy that you kissed one time. But that's how we are.
Wow. That's sad.
It ain't sad. It's the truth.
It is sad.
Nah. But that's also what makes us join the military and go fight and all that kind of stuff. That's why you can pull up next to somebody and you can run your mouth, shut up or whatever, and he'll get out and fight for you. I mean, because we built that way.
Okay.
There's some good stuff in that too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that right there.
Miss Anime.
He's keeping it real.
That is 100.
I can see that.
What you look for in a man?
What I look, a pulse and and a sense of humor. In that order.
How strong does the pulse have to be? You have to feel it in the neck, or where you got to feel it at?
As if it's up here and it's going to this. Oh, wait a minute now. Y'all went somewhere. I wasn't even going there. I wasn't going there at all. But no, if is he fairly healthy, and if not, if he got a good life insurance, that I would, I got to. But I've been single. Y'all know I've been single a long time. I tell folks I've been waiting to exhale so long. I just called it asthma. But I like that story. And well, lady, we keeping it. But I like that story because you was out front at the beginning, right. And it also seemed like you had a connection, right? Like it was meant to be, like a God thing and the love soulmate thing, and So I'm waiting for my soulmate. That's why it's taking so long. Hello, are you out there? Send up some smoke signals. I know Morse code. I know it all, honey. I've been waiting. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the Lord. Be of good courage.
There you go.
I'm the most courageous woman you have ever seen in your life. Got some courage. But no, I like that story. I believe in love. I believe till the day I die.
Yeah. My father-in-law's out here. He just came and moved out here with us.
Oh, is that
and he's
right?
actually listening. And he's single. And he got money too.
Oh.
Okay. Wait, how old is
323?
There's the number. I'm right here through this number right here.
Hear that, Pops? I got one for you.
Look at that. It's like I came here for one thing and they got crab cakes and a date. God is good all the time. But what about you? I mean, that sounds good what he said. I believed it.
I love the ending of it. I really did. But I've been married twice.
Ain't no wrong with that.
No, it's absolutely not. Because third time's a charm. I'm
So
going for it one more time. I believe in love.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I think it's a great ending, and I can't wait for my happy ending like that.
It takes time. You know what? I don't look at like my story as some perfect story because it's not a perfect story. But my point is, I think as we evolve through life, we have to go through the ups and downs and the ins and outs of it all. And sometimes you may get married a couple times, maybe you don't. But you find your space, and your place.
Yeah, I think our downs make us stronger. If you can get through it, you can only grow.
Yep. So I heard the saying, they say there's only winning in lessons. I kind of like that. Yeah, I love like that, right? So that's good.
Well, this has been Kissable Nights, and I'm Lady D's, and we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to introduce you to another guest of ours. Her name is Miss Karen Bankhead. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Come on, Miss Karen Bankhead.
I don't know about tomorrow, today. I just hope that tomorrow is better than yesterday. I pray about tomorrow like I prayed about today. And I pray that tomorrow is gonna be better than yesterday. Yesterday. Ooh, tomorrow's gotta be better than yesterday. Yesterday. Tomorrow has gotta be better than yesterday. The children of tomorrow are the future of today. They're the next generation. It's gotta be better than yesterday. The world I see tomorrow is not the world I see today. For the world I see tomorrow is totally better than yesterday. Yesterday. Tomorrow's gonna be better than yesterday. Yesterday. Tomorrow has gotta be better. It's gonna be better than yesterday. Now there's only one thing for certain in this life. Everything will change. Nothing remains the same. Now if you open up your heart and change your mind, take a little time, put the past behind. Yesterday. Tomorrow's gonna be better than yesterday. Yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Oh, tomorrow it's gonna be better than yesterday.
You come back?
It's gonna get better.
Tony don't want to stop singing.
Guess not, huh?
I don't want him to.
Guess who's back? How y'all doing?
What's up?
I know y'all missed me. Welcome back to the EMissyK Loose Lip Show. I'm your girl, EMissyK. And I'm sitting there for just a moment. Our other guest is slightly detained. So I'm going to welcome our guest. Hey, Ronnie.
What up,
How
Erica?
you been?
EMissyK? I'm good.
That's Ronnie. He kicked any trash cans lately?
I know, right?
I done what?
Kicked any trash cans lately?
Oh, I ain't that. Yeah, I forgot.
I don't know what that means.
That was no,
That
because I
was
kicked the trash can. I
funny.
got
Tanya.
hurt my toe.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tanya, welcome. Tanya is a PR rep, and she also has a new book. We're going to get into that very shortly. But right now, we have a phone call. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, yeah, this is Pop.
Hey, Pop. Oh,
I told you, Bob. Where's Miss Etta?
Etta had to take a break, but we're going to have to relay a message for her.
Pop, I got you. You know, I always told you I got you.
Tell Ronnie, don't put all my business out of this.
So far, he hasn't put any out. We're trying to get the goods.
Pops, what kind of woman you looking for?
Yeah.
And Ronnie say, "You got money?" No, I ain't got money.
That was funny. I wasn't ready.
That's my man right there.
Pops, you need more than a post. What you need?
And I love to drink me some 40. So.
Ain't no 40. A 40. Pops still drinking 40?
Yes.
We need to update
Daily.
him. Can we get him some Stella Rosa?
Lately, we've been on the hurricane, right, Pops?
Wow.
Yeah. Y'all ain't never heard of hurricane.
Yes.
That blue drink.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's the strong stuff.
Wow.
Hey, Pops.
No joke.
So yeah, he told you I was out here in California. Yeah, I had to come out here and stay a couple of months, or 2 or 3 months. They working on my house back in Houston, Texas. So I'm doing fine and great to be out here.
Oh, so you need to take something back with you, right?
He gonna take Miss Etta back with work out that new house he got.
You need somebody to christen that new house for you, Pops?
Before I go out, I'm gonna get back with you, let you know.
All right, then. Thanks for calling, Pops.
Thanks, Pops. I'll see you in a minute.
I ain't too ashamed, but it's gonna be brand spanking new.
Okay.
I've been there 40-some years, but anyway, right now we're going back to spanking new. So maybe we can break it on in.
We got you. We got you. Go on and break it on in.
Yeah.
All right, Pops. Thanks for
All
calling.
right, Pops. I'll see you in a minute.
Y'all take care now.
You
All
too.
right,
Thank
Pops.
you for calling.
All right.
Yeah, y'all thought I was being funny.
Man.
And look, Pop's a retired law professor. He ain't no joke. And drinking 40.
Pops ready.
79.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lady D's single too.
There we go.
79.
Look, the more the merrier.
I heard him.
You heard him.
Pops, we got a challenge. We got a challenge.
Remodel house though, D.
You know me.
We got a challenge.
Can
I'm
we
just
remodel some
saying.
other things too?
So Tanya, you are the PR rep for Tony Grant.
Tony Grant.
Yes. And Tony had an emergency tonight, right?
Yes.
So you had to take over.
I had to take over.
How you feel about that?
I'm okay. I'm always ready.
You stay ready.
I
That's
stay
what you're
ready.
supposed to
That's
do.
multitasking.
Now
right?
that's a PR rep for you.
Yeah, I like that.
So you reached out to me recently. You told me that you got a new book out. Tell us about your new book.
My new book is called The Fat Jeans Are Talking.
The Fat Jeans
like
Are Talking.
And what they were telling me was that I was not living up to my highest potential.
Okay.
I had no self-control.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, like, what are you talking about? No self-control. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I haven't beat anyone up. And I'm not cussing folks out. What do you mean no self-control?
Right.
It's like, well, look at the weight you've gained.
Okay.
And I said, well, then I'm addicted to my 600-pound life. I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's a good show.
But they go to drive-thrus and order 4-piece dinners and chicken
Right.
sandwiches and apple pies. I don't do that.
Right.
Thank God.
Make you wonder.
Hallelujah.
I don't do that. So I'm wondering, what does this mean, self-control? So I started journaling.
Okay.
My nieces was already asking me. My mother is 5 feet. My sister's 4'11". My other sister is 5'1".
Okay.
I'm 5'6". So when we take photos, I'm a giant. I'm always a giant.
Oh, okay.
And so my nieces were, TT, why are you so big? So I started writing a comic book where I was going to be smashing fat jeans, but as I was writing, it became therapy.
Okay.
And the lack of self-control was me allowing outside things to control me. I hate LA traffic, but if I knew I had to get in traffic, I had to have a Monster energy drink. I didn't need energy. I wasn't even tired, but I had to have it. And that got me through. That made me feel like I was controlling something because I had my drink.
Right.
Still in corporate America, on top of PR and on top of being an author, on top of being a single mom. My daughter's 25 anyway. On top of being a single mom. Boss say something to stress me out. I couldn't control that. So I would go get some M&Ms or a Snickers, eat that at my desk, and that would give me a sense of control, and I'll get through the workday. And so ultimately what I have to do is control myself and not allow the workload to stress me out, traffic to stress me out. Someone don't want to say good morning to me back.
Right.
Why is that upsetting me?
Yeah, Ashley.
Why is that bothering me? So I'm writing these things down and journaling, say, okay, I got to get control of this and stop letting the outside things control me. Then I thought, well, how did I let outside things control me? How did I get there? And then it goes back to my upbringing. And as children, we need an outside force to control us. We need our parents. We need school teachers. We need, people, adults, to help mold us into adults. And my grandmother was eat everything on your plate. That was her rule. We can't waste food. Eat everything on your plate.
That's right.
My mother is a very organized person. She keeps a schedule.
Is she a Virgo?
She's a Gemini.
Okay.
keep a schedule. And her rules was, okay, it's time for breakfast. And if it's summertime or whatever, it's time for lunch.
Right.
It's time for dinner.
Okay.
You better eat now, because the kitchen's going to be closed. I'm going to sit down and that's going to be it for the night.
Right.
So my brain was trained to eat at eating time and not eat when I'm hungry.
Okay.
Right.
So now I got to eat everything on my plate and eat at eating time.
Right.
Then we got my father, who when my mother be like, go with your daddy. He didn't know what to do with me. So we'll go to the liquor store and get whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Just get what you
Keeps you
want and then
occupied.
stay busy. Go over there.
Okay.
So now I registered junk food, and I was always getting Cheetos and Hershey bar and Orange Crush.
Right.
I was equating junk food with, oh, I'm a princess, because I have other siblings. I had, at the time, I had an older brother, older sister. But for some reason, my mother would send me with him. So I come home with my stuff. Well, why you didn't buy us anything? You wasn't with me. So I'm like, yeah. See,
So
I'm the one.
That's right.
And
so are those the kind of the stories that are in the book? Or
that's all the stuff that's in the book, and then it goes into more detail. And then in my adult life, why am I running to junk as a comfort?
Right.
Because I'm familiar with it, and it
right.
made me feel good, and I felt control.
Yeah, so many women
That's
have the
That's
same
so deep.
same issues. I know when I went through depression, I went to eating and I gained a lot of weight. I'm not gonna say how much I gained, but I gained a lot.
Right.
You know, and so I'm just now getting to a point where I'm controlling it a whole lot better. 25 pounds lighter, heavier, better.
Praise
So hey man. So your book, I'm sure, is going to help a lot of women.
Yeah.
So show the people the book one more time.
And I love that the artwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they saying it? So here's the book. And what I want from people, for me, it was food, because that's what was familiar to me.
Mhm.
That's what made me feel safe. But for someone else, it may be drugs.
Right.
It could be alcohol.
That's
it could be
right.
sex. It could be
That's
shopping.
Right.
Anything. Whatever that thing is that caused you to
That's
run
good
to
stuff.
it for comfort, it make you feel like you have some sort of control, even
Yep.
if it's temporarily.
That's right.
That's a false control.
That's
Right.
And you
Right.
need to get to the bottom of that and take on real self-control like God intended you to have.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We were born wanting control. That's why babies wiggle and cry when they don't want to be held.
Oh,
We want
yes.
control. And adults take the control, which is very necessary to do.
Mhm.
But when I was released, grandma's not dictating and mama's not there and daddy's not buying me Cheetos anymore.
Mhm.
I got familiar and comfortable with outside things controlling me, and I never took my own control back.
That's right.
And I'm just the opposite. I need to learn how to relinquish some of it.
Huh.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Relinquish control.
Control, control, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't let
But are
That's
you
true, 'cause then you
controlling
end
things,
up
or are you
having a whole
controlling
lot-
yourself?
Right.
You end up being a PR rep, a corporate America worker, a book writer.
Right.
Right.
Relinquish some control.
Well, no. I need that thing, and that
Yeah.
right there, you need control in a sense to keep progressing in life.
Mhm.
My self-control.
Mhm.
I didn't book the client on a show. Why am I eating? That was out of my control.
Right,
I
right.
gave it
Right.
my best. Why am I
That's
eating?
right. That's
So I
right.
have to say, you know what? I gave it my best. They said no. It's
Right.
their loss. Let's move
You
on.
keep it moving.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Because you're diverting that energy to something else
Right.
to control. Right.
And so it's still, you need to control yourself, because
That's
I
right.
can't. There's things that you simply cannot control.
That's right.
Right.
I can't control everything. I can't control the weather. I can't control how you treat
That's
me.
right.
Mhm.
I can only control me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why
right.
I can control how I receive it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't
that's-
let people get to me like that anymore.
Yeah.
It was a journey, but
It is a journey.
you know,
It is.
I like who I am now.
I love who I am
Yeah.
now.
I do.
And after writing this and reading this, I'm getting
That's
so much
good
great
because a lot
feedback.
of people need that. Yeah.
A lot of parents
exactly
need that in raising their children, because I think,
Yeah.
like you just said, a
Put
lot
things
of
in
what we
perspective.
take on can come from some dysfunctionality
Right.
that they're having. You know what I mean? In the same kind of way. So I think that's deep.
And let me tell you
Yeah.
something about that real quick. And I actually wrote in there that I knew that there was no malice or ill intent in my upbringing.
Right. of
I
course not.
appreciate my upbringing,
Mhm.
but my mother cried for 2 days. You wrote that I was a horrible mother. I destroyed
Oh,
you. I'm so sorry.
No.
That's not what
That's
I
not
wrote
what I
at
said.
all. Did you
No,
read
I
what I
know.
wrote?
I know.
And so with her, get your control. You're letting what you think you read control your emotions and your feelings. You knew you were a great mom.
Right.
Yeah.
You know they gave your best.
That's right.
So what are we crying for?
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to publicly apologize to everyone. No, you're not. For what?
Yeah.
No one's going to get that. And so we have to also, and this stems back from, I don't know what, whoever told her she was a bad mother in the past, which she wasn't.
Mhm.
And I never said she was. And I have 4 other siblings now who never said she was. But I don't know, someone in the past maybe said stuff, and we hold on to things from our past that we need to let go.
Right.
Right.
I ran into a girl who didn't want to take a photo because she said, well, she didn't like taking selfies. So I was with a friend of mine, and he said, well, who called you ugly? Joking. He was being funny.
Mhm.
And she would look down, and I said, was it Kiki in the 5th grade? Because Kiki,
Right.
and she said, yeah, well, this lady's like 40 years old.
Yeah.
And
Right.
your control is way back in
That's right.
elementary school.
That's right.
Yes, it
That's
Get
right.
your control and come to the present day
That's right.
and see who you are. She was a pretty lady, very pretty lady. And so the same thing with my mother. You know that you know who you are.
Right.
But if someone somewhere in the past says something off and you
Mhm.
allow that to stick, you just gave away your control.
Gave away everything.
Absolutely.
But the positive side of that is that if there had been something, at least she was trying to take ownership. Because in the process, it would have helped you if that's what you needed. But that's not where you were.
Right. No.
Yeah.
And that's not what she needed. But I'm just glad to know that she was woman enough to say,
To care.
yeah,
she
exactly.
cared. Yeah,
Because
I mean,
most of them like, you crazy.
That's a beautiful
You know?
thing.
Yeah.
Some parents be like, look, get over it.
Exactly.
And you like,
So
yeah.
that's awesome.
And you like, that's why
She's
I'm
ready to
messed
be
up now.
part of the process.
Because you telling me to get over it.
That's a good thing.
That's my response. I
She's
already
ready to be part
rely.
of the process. That's awesome.
My kids are gonna be
Let me
messed
tell you
up.
something funny real quick. My mother is taking care of my grandmother who's 102.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
And what I learned in watching them is that some stuff you just carry. So, because, you know, we all probably got some with our parents or something happened or didn't or whatever. And so I'll be sitting there and my mom be like, look, well, why'd you do that? Or something. I'm like, Mom, she, 102.
She don't even know why she did
But
it.
my point is, my mom, they still
Right.
got that relationship that they had when my mom was 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's little thing, there's this little quirk, not it's a bad relationship, but just little
Right.
quirks that you don't
Mhm.
ever let go. So it has nothing to do with how old you are. You can be 50, 60, 70, and you
Still
still
going on to
got that
stuff.
little stuff
Yeah.
that you holding on to. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's kind of deep, man. That's
All
deep.
right. So
Good for you.
The book is available on Amazon.
thank you. That's that was next.
Amazon.com. Yes,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Amazon. And tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on social media at Carmouché, CarmouChepr.
Thank you.
Loving it.
And we want to thank you
Loving
for coming on, Tanya, especially at the last minute.
Thank you.
We love you for
Thank
always
you.
being
Thank you.
available.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, I'm
Um,
definitely going to cop that.
That's
Yeah,
really
you
good.
should.
Please
You
do.
guys
Thank
No,
read
I
the
am,
book.
for sure.
That's really good stuff.
Support our ladies and our
Yeah.
fat jeans. And we're going to go into our break. We'll be right back after this song from Tony Grant.
Yes.
Tony.
Baby girl, I must admit that something's feeling strange. You call me at work just to say we really gotta talk. So meet me after work, 'cause there's something I need to say face to face. What is it that you can't tell me on the phone? I'm feeling like you're about to leave me all alone, and I'm losing my breath, and I'm feeling my life leaving my body. You can't be leaving me, baby, 'cause you're my life support. Baby, you're my life support. Ooh, baby, you're my life support. I need your love to pull the plug on me. You're the one that turns you when times are hard. My life support. You're the one that makes me put down my gun. My life support. Don't leave me now. No, just don't go. I can make it without the love, so baby, don't pull the plug. Baby girl, I don't know. I'm trying to think, what could it be? What did I do? The suspense is killing me. My vital signs are fading. Why you got me waiting? And I'm feeling like my life is leaving me. How I wish that there was something I could do. It could be nothing, but I'm paralyzed till I know what's up. driving me crazy. You can't be leaving me, baby. Ooh, you're mine. Oh, you're mine. I need your love. Don't pull the plug on me. You know what I do at times I want my life support. You know what makes me put down my gun. My life support. Don't leave it now. Not now. Just don't go. I can make it without your love. So baby, don't wait. Just gotta say you're the one, girl. You're my everything. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I never meant to cause you pain. And I'm not perfect, but please don't go. Baby, you're my life. Oh, you're my life. You're everything I need. I need your love. Don't pull the plug. You're my life. I can't breathe without you. There's no me without you, girl. I need your love. Don't pull the plug. You're my life support. I can't even breathe. I can't even breathe. I can't even breathe without you, baby. You're mine.
Welcome back to the EMissyK Loose Lip Show. I'm your girl EMissyK. We want to thank Lady D's and her kissable nights for running the show for me tonight. Give me a little break, just a little one, and then she's gonna abandon me. It's all good. I wasn't ready. It's okay though. I'm still here.
It's all good.
I know, right? Like we stay ready.
We'll stay ready.
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
So, welcome to the stage. Hello. Welcome, Miss Karen Bankhead, comedian, actress, woman of the hour. How you doing?
I am really good.
You are really good.
Chef KT.
Chef KT,
That is
did you try
amazing.
some of the food?
I hurt myself. So
Yes.
It was-
Did Anna Mae tell you about what was going on out here?
you know, she did, and I felt bad because I heard your pops call in.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the story of her life. It's like, she was in the ladies' room.
She's always missing them, huh?
Yes.
She never where she's supposed to be.
No, but
We
she
had
was
one on the
in-
line for her, you know.
It was on the line in the same county.
Right.
Yeah, the same county, right?
For the moment.
Yeah. That's right, Earthling.
Ask her how she feel about Houston in a new rebuilt home.
Oh, that's right.
Is she okay with going down south?
Relocating?
She's got she rebuilt her hips and her knees, and so
It's good to go. It's all
everything's doing her. So
okay.
yes,
Boss, we good.
that
We
could
good.
work out. Yes.
I'm gonna bring him home. 240s and Miss Etta.
240. He gonna be happy as a lark.
One-way ticket.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, that's.
So Karen, tell us how you got into doing Etta Mae Mumfries.
Oh my gosh! Well, you know what? It came back a long time ago, and we were talking about this before when you Etta Mae was talking about it before. I'm not crazy.
Transition.
Yeah, I gotta get him switch back out.
But I was doing a one-woman show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to put at the end like an iconic Black woman that could kind of talk to my characters in the show. And I'm not really good at impressions. Like I don't do Lena Horne or Ruby Dee or my. It would have been very sad. So I did. But I was watching this documentary. It's called Bubbling Black Sugar about African American women from the 20s to the present back then. And there was they were talking about Alberta Hunter and Josephine Baker and Billie Holiday and all these wonderful women. And then, but they were interviewing these ladies that you don't know who they were. Like you didn't know their name, but they were like, oh yes, I remember when Josephine was at one end of the chorus line and I was at the other. Oh, she was clown and she didn't really know the steps, but oh, she was fancy. And so there's these ladies.
Yeah.
And so I said, I want to be that lady, the one who was there, who
Nice.
knew everybody,
That's
knew all the
good.
stories.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And so then it became like she calls herself the Black Forrest Gump because it's like after a while it's like she was there for everybody.
Right.
She knew
So she really actually does call herself.
She does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I I went into some thing there. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay,
Just thought you
Yeah.
were doing some
That's
premonition
dope.
stuff. Yeah, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about Marvin Gaye, everything. You
Yeah.
know, she has a story for pretty much everybody, and
Yes.
yeah, and so
That's
then
smart.
at the yeah, it was so much
Yeah.
fun because it's like it doesn't matter. I do Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and you know,
Oh,
Gladys
wow.
Knight. You know, she was gonna be Gladys Knight and the cousins, but just call them Pips, make it Peppy, and
Make it
make it Peppy. And they wanted to take the midnight train to Detroit, and I said, no, don't do that. Go on down to where they're not. Don't take to Georgia.
Go to Georgia.
It's a little friendly, a little safer. And anyway, the rest is history.
Where'd you get the voice from? Did you channel like someone you grew up around, or is it like where did you come up with that particular voice? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's kind of, well, you know, as comedians,
Yeah.
you know, we do a lot, almost pretty much everybody, Richard Pryor, Eddie
Mhm.
Murphy, they
Right, of
have
course,
an
of course.
old person.
yeah,
Right.
I got an old guy.
Yeah, you got an old guy. So I just kind of came from that. But then all the time when like my cousins see her, they're like, oh, that's Aunt Babe Ray. That's Babe Ray.
Oh,
Or that's your mama.
right,
So
right,
I
right.
borrowed and some of the sweetness about her, and you know, you have a relative who's like, baby, it's gonna be all right.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
that lady. We all have that lady. She's supposed to be that person in
Okay.
all of our lives. So
Right,
there's a little bit of that. In
She's
there.
amazing.
Well, I love it. We love
She's
her.
amazing.
I
I mean, really.
Thank you. She
She's
loves
really
you back.
amazing.
I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
Lady D said we saw Etta Mae at the Comedy Explosion with oh my God, Edwanda White.
Oh yes.
And she says, oh my goodness. She says, I didn't even know that wasn't, and I didn't know. I didn't know it was an old lady.
And I'm gonna tell you, if I can, like a lot of people when they try to do elderly people,
Mhm.
they overdo it.
Yes.
And they don't know how to embody it, and like you really
Yes,
like
you do.
it's like you embody, and so you don't, it doesn't sound like a fake old person
Exactly.
accent. You know what I'm kind of saying? Like
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
not
thank
easy to
you.
accomplish. No, it's that, I was amazing.
Absolutely. The mannerisms, the
Everything.
whole nine
Yeah.
yards.
The
Good
manners,
job.
everything.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
job.
I tried.
Hey,
But it's out of love. But yeah.
So, what do you and Etta Mae have coming up?
Oh well, gosh, you inspired me with your book because she was telling. I wrote this little. It's a booklet, but it's got a lot of Etta Mae stories in it, and
that's dope.
yeah. So I have one for every.
Yay! I want one.
You get a book.
You get
I got a book.
Pops, I'm bringing the book home.
Yeah.
We got the book.
And Etta Mae's number is in there.
Yeah,
So.
the number gonna be on the back.
I like that one.
But yeah, we're doing that, and then actually, I'm doing a play that's opening in a couple of weeks at the Miracle Theater in Inglewood. And
Oh, that's
it's
what's
a-
up. I'm leaving Inglewood. So I'm
Oh yeah, come on down
Yeah,
the
I'll be
street.
there.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all the information's on
Yeah,
my
I heard they
Instagram.
just redid it. I actually saw some pictures. It's actually very beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. We haven't gotten to the theater, but it's 3 Times a Lady, and it's
Mhm.
with me and Denise Dowse and Alec Morris and Derek Shawn and Rhonda Mormon, and it's actually it's very emotional. It has a psychologist, Dr. Gloria Mora, wrote it. In fact,
Okay.
I think Tony did one of her shows.
Mhm.
What makes things that
Tony
make
and and
Yeah.
Tyrone Dubois.
yes.
Oh, yes.
So it's a healing play. It's a lot of emotions about
that's what's up.
divorce and
Yeah.
loss and then
Nice.
of course I get to be funny. So
And we get to be there to
Now,
support you.
is Miss Etta in it, or is
Etta
or-
Mae, no.
Oh, okay.
Aaron.
No, because when you said that, I didn't know what you were saying. Okay,
Oh,
right.
no.
So
Yeah, this is one of the times
Okay,
because
okay.
I do a lot. I'm on the road and doing stuff as Etta Mae. That's my favorite thing to do.
okay.
And so, but every now and then I have to feel like, okay, be an actress. That's what
Right.
I do.
Yeah, no, it's
So-
dope.
So
Yeah,
this is
so-
Karen's
Yes.
display people.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't come looking for Etta Mae, but we do have on the website. Etta Mae has a bit of a schedule and stuff like the Edwanda's Explosion, which I love to
Okay.
do that, and
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
So tell the
Amazing.
people where to find you. What's that website?
Well, there's EttaMaeMumphreys.com, and then there's KarenBankhead.com.
Okay.
Well, it's schizophrenic, but they
No,
Yeah.
that's what's up, man.
and then on Instagram and YouTube, please visit YouTube because I have a lot of fun there. I have a lot of videos. It's Etta Mae TV.
Yes.
I love it, man.
ETTAMAE TV.
All right.
Yay.
And thank you for coming. We really appreciate
oh my
you.
gosh, this was a blessing. I learned. I got uplifted.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was good.
Give it
And
my stuff.
Rodney,
What up?
what's up?
What's up?
What do you have coming up?
Well, right now I'm sort of moving into a new phase in my life where I'm trying to get Etta Mae and Pops together.
Okay,
That's-
right.
That's a
And you
project.
can see us at on IG.
Okay.
Etta Mae at Anime and Pops.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where
We
we're
just gonna
gonna
start our own new page. Okay.
And it's also in Inglewood, so we can all collect and no, but yeah. So I'm one of the things I have going, I think I told you guys last time, we're starting a little show, a little like music, comedy, whatever. So we're doing that out at the Airtel Hotel in Van Nuys.
Okay.
The 24th is the next show. And it's actually kind of cool because anyone out there that's listening that's a singer or has a band, it's a talent show when we're giving away $500. So to the winner.
Can I sing?
Yeah, come on. And look, and look, listen. It's crowd participation. So you ain't gotta be the best.
Okay.
You just gotta have the most friends.
Okay.
So
Come over here.
yeah, right.
Real
Come
short.
on out here. Don't do the whole thing. It don't
Okay,
matter.
I got you.
Because as long as you get the claps,
No.
you get the 500.
I get the claps. I get the 5. I don't want the claps.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't mean
Applause.
it like that. No one's gonna get claps.
I don't want the claps.
at the show.
So we want to thank you, Ronnie Warner, for coming on and joining us.
No doubt. Appreciate
Karen Bankhead, thank you so much. Tanya, I love you.
I love you back.
You are the bee's knees.
Thank you.
Lady D's, thank you.
Lady D's.
Once again, you guys, please support Eat 310 Catering. They've been doing a lot of stuff, so follow them on Instagram. They're everywhere. Eat 310. Poetess, we love you. Morris Media, if you guys looking for a home for your podcast, right up in here. Nice studio. And Kevin Nelson, our executive producer, MVIN, Haley B, Lala Young, we missed you guys. We're up out of here. 2 fingers in the biscuit.